Hello and good morning. It's Phil Thatch and it's my regular photography day. I always do photography on Thursday, or almost always. And the weather forecast for today is a 100% chance of rain all day long, the whole day. So that kind of makes you think, well, he's not going to get any photography done today. Guess again, I'm out here and at it. I'm in a little pull-off along the side of the road that leads to Harrison Bay State Park. And while this is not actually in the gates of the park, I believe this is a part of Harrison Bay State Park. And there's a part of the Chickamauga Lake right over here to my left where the water is down, and there's lots and lots of ring-billed gulls over there. And I've been taking some photographs of them. I'm using the 500 f4, and if you watch the channel very much, you'll see that pretty much every time I go out with the 500 f4, I have the 1.4 teleconverter on there, so it's a 700 millimeter f5.6. Well, today, with it being full overcast and pretty dark, I need some more shutter speed and some more light. So I'm running the 500 f4 bare. So I'm shooting at f4. I've got the Z50, so it's 750 millimeters full frame equivalent f4. And that is pretty awesome. And you know, I've whined and complained about how the Z series cameras might not be the very best for birds in flight, but while I'm sitting here in the car, some of those ring-billed gulls are flying around a little bit, and I've made a few photographs of them flying. So let's take a look at those now. There's a ring-billed gull in flight made with a Nikon Z50. How about that? Those birds that are below it and out of focus are American Coots. And this next shot is a little bit closer, so you can really see the bird even sharper, and you can also really see the detail of how much rain was falling while I was making these photographs. Now, for autofocus area, I used wide area small, where normally for bird photography I use single point, but in flight wide area small works better on my Nikon Z50. Love these beautiful ring-billed gulls as they fly over Chickamauga Lake. Well, that was completely awesome. I'm inside the park now, and I was driving down this road that leads to the campsites. I really love to do bird photography in camping area C, and with this rain, you know, it's just a light rain. It's not a driving rain, but it's enough to get on your nerves. Kind of perfect for photography, though. Anyway, I was driving along this road, and I saw what you see quite often here at Harrison Bay State Park. I saw 2 or 3 white-tailed doe in the forest, and I said, you know what, let's get a picture of those. So I turned around and I came back and I pulled off at this spot where there's a picnic table, and there were some bucks in the forest, and I made a couple of shots out the window, and I said, you know what, I don't care if I get wet, because you don't see the buck very often. You know, you see the doe all the time, but you don't see bucks. So anyway, I wandered just a little bit into the forest, and I was able to get a picture of a pretty good size, I don't know if might be an 8-pointer, maybe a 6, I didn't really count, but pretty good size buck. And you know, they early in the morning, it's 10:41 now. Early in the morning they get up, from what I understand, and they eat, and then they bed down, and you know, they bed down and rest and digest for a pretty good portion of the day. And I guess this is the time of day that was happening. And that big buck, I got pictures of it bedding down. I think hopefully they'll be pretty good. I had to use, even though I'm at f4, I had to use a really slow shutter speed to try to keep my ISO down, but hopefully at least 1 or 2 pictures of those buck will be, I don't know if you say buck or bucks, so maybe you can tell me in the comments. But anyway, hopefully some of those will be good, and if so, let's take a look at them now. This is the first time I've ever gotten a photograph of a deer that was bedded down like this, and I thought that was really cool. And in this particular shot, his tongue is even sticking out, so that's pretty neat. And there's a little bit of small vegetation that's in front of the deer, which, you know, it could be a little bit better, but I was still super thrilled to get this shot. And here's the same deer. You know, usually I need all the focal length I could get, but today I could have used a little bit less. I could not get the entire deer in the shot. It was filling more than the frame. So I decided to do head and shoulders shots instead of full body shots, because I just had too much focal length. Probably could have used the Z6 and had 500 millimeters instead of 750 like I was having with the Z50. Now this was another male deer that was right there. This is a younger one, a 6-pointer, and I only got this one photograph of it to share, but I thought it was a beautiful deer as well, but not as beautiful as the big 8-pointer was. And here's one last shot of him before they left the area. Got tired of me with my camera hanging around. Well, I've been driving around Harrison Bay State Park now for quite a while, and after seeing the deer, I thought next I'll concentrate on birds, and I went to all my regular spots and didn't see anything. I mean, I saw one crow, and I'm thinking, well, this video is just going to be the deer, and that's going to be about it. And then I came all the way out here by the fishing pier, and in this bush behind me, there are some northern cardinals, and they were fairly cooperative to get their photo made. So I guess we'll look at some cardinal pictures now. Here is a beautiful, beautiful female northern cardinal. I think I've mentioned on the channel before how much I love the colors on those. And this is another instance where I had more focal length than I needed. That almost never happens with wildlife photography, but it happened to me twice today. Now, I don't like the pose of this shot too well, but I love the red bird in the bush with the red berries. I think that is something that's really beautiful, and even though I didn't get the pose that I wanted, I still had to share that one. And here's another kind of almost there pose. The two male northern cardinal shots were not my favorites, but it's such a beautiful bird, and I love getting photographs of them, so I thought I would share them. Well, that's been a productive few minutes. I came around to the restaurant and restroom at the marina to let some of this coffee out, and then I came up behind the marina to the parking lot where you park your truck and trailer, and there's a wooded area in between the road that goes down to the boat ramp and that goes up to the parking lot, and that's where the brush pile was, where Heather and I got a lot of birds last time we were here. And I kind of drove up beside that wooded area before the brush pile and saw a number of birds, an eastern phoebe. I think I got a red-bellied woodpecker female. I saw a ruby-crowned kinglet. I'm not sure if I got a shot of it. So that was pretty cool. And then I was kind of looping around looking in this parking lot some more, and right over here behind me, you may even be able to see them in the shot, I ran across 4 young doe, and that's kind of what you typically see in terms of deer here. That's why I was so excited to see the buck earlier, but I did get some pictures of those doe. Not a bad morning to be. Look at all the rain on the windshield. I don't know if you can see it, but so far it hasn't rained hard. It's supposed to be raining hard at some point today, but so far it hasn't. So I'm making a day of it. Didn't think I was going to be able to do much photography today, and it turns out I'm having a good day. The only one of the bird photos that I talked about in the previous clip that came out pretty good was this female red-bellied woodpecker. The phoebe was overexposed and the kinglet was not sharp, but this one came out really, really well, even though there's a little something in the foreground. Now, this may be the cutest deer photo I've ever made. Even though this youngster is old enough to where it doesn't have spots anymore, I think it's just absolutely beautiful. And I love the background in this shot. That 500 f4 wide open renders absolutely beautiful backgrounds. Now, this shot hasn't been cropped at all, so that tells you how close I was getting to these deer. And I thought it was really beautiful that I could get this super up close shot of this deer's beautiful eyes. This photograph is kind of an exploration of deer facial hair. Look at all those whiskers coming off of this beautiful girl. She might need to shave before she goes out this weekend. Here's another scruffy looking, been in the rain all day, beautiful white-tailed deer. And this is the last deer photograph of the day, and I think she's super cute. Well, it's been another really fun day of bird and wildlife photography here at one of my favorite places in the world, Harrison Bay State Park in the greater Chattanooga, Tennessee area. Really a good morning, even though it's been raining all day. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, a thumbs up is always appreciated. If you want to see some more, subscribe and hit the bell. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.